What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get into the Saturday, June 29th Major League Baseball betting card. I got 4 best bets for you today on the card. Exciting matchups. We are outside. It's kind of drizzling where I'm at. Kind of crappy weather, but so look for your forecasts to see. Make sure that all the games that you guys are looking to bet on actually are going to get it in today. Might have some double headers tomorrow, but I think for the most part it should be good for some of the later games out there. But a little bit in the afternoon in the Midwest and the East Coast. Just a little bit of a weather forecast, but shifting away from being a weatherman, let's get into cashing some tickets. Quick recap from yesterday. We were able to go 2 and 3. Had a couple late ones that let us down. Excuse me. The Dodgers game, you know, them losing in walk-off fashion, and then we unfortunately were on the wrong side of the Cleveland game. That's something where the handicap was right, but the teams were not, right? I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. That's what we got, but unfortunately it was just something where they poured it on McKenzie, and I think that's kind of where we're going to be at for the rest of for the near future, where we're going to be fading McKenzie and taking overs in those games. You know, Kansas City's been struggling to score some runs, and it didn't quite frankly matter. Okay, so 2 and 3 yesterday on the card. It is what it is, but that's a good way to just keep it level, and then we will get into this weekend and hopefully cash some tickets and go on a little bit of a streak. I will have 4 best bets. And so let's get down into the picks. Make sure you guys are all subscribing. If you have not yet done so, smash that like button as well. And please let me know what you guys will be betting down below in the comments, okay? But let's get into the odds jam. The first game on the card we're going to look into is the Colorado Rockies and the Chicago White Sox. This is an interesting spot for Cal Quantrill. You know, I'm team fade Quantrill, but something where Chicago, you know, 23 and 61, 27-54 in the season. This is an interesting game, though, if you want to look into possibly going under in this spot. I probably think that these are some of the worst lineups in Major League Baseball, so I'm not going to bet it, but I would think that the 9 is too many runs here. Cal Quantrill has been pitching pretty decent in recent times, so under 9, that is very juicy out there, minus 115. Something that I would lean definitely into betting, but I'm not going to have an official play. The next game I will have an official play. This will be the Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals. Let's get behind Sonny Gray and Carson Spears. Outstanding pitching splits as of recent. Look for a little bit better of a trend here to continue. 2:15 first pitch. We're going to be taking the under 8.5 runs within St. Louis and Cincinnati. It's kind of where I'm at in that game. I think St. Louis at home can shut the door on the Reds. Just have to worry about the bullpen, and hopefully these starters can extend it and go later into the contest, getting out of the first 5, and then I think we have this one pretty much sealed up. But always do worry about kind of having that, you know, that 8.5 total when you put it in the hands of the bullpen. But we do like the under, and that will be an official play in this game. Okay. Next one up, we're going to kind of skip around a little bit because I do have, unfortunately, the next 3 games that are on the card are actually official plays. So let's skip over the Yankees and Marlins game. Well, let's get into the Athletics and Diamondbacks. Okay. Hopefully, I didn't get a chance to look this morning, but I had a home run prop that was coming out. So I got to check. And if you guys want to leave in the comments, I'm kind of curious how you guys play the home run market. You view them as lottery tickets, or do you just kind of pass on them as kind of, you know, just a waste of money or time? I don't really bet them a lot. If I do, I kind of put them in a crazy kind of parlay, like a lottery ticket. But yesterday I picked a couple, just kind of having fun. So I could go check those tickets to see if they cashed. But nonetheless, let's get back into the picks. Like I said, the next game on the card we'll be getting into is going to be the Oakland and Arizona game. That's where we look into the card. Zach Gallen and Hogan Harris. Kind of interesting matchup. The Diamondbacks have been a really tough team to handicap. Kind of why I'm staying away from this game. I told you guys in previous videos, unless we start seeing that white flag and the odds makers don't adjust, I'm probably not going to bet for or against the Oakland Athletics until basically I get that feeling, right? So I'm staying away from the Athletics no matter who they're playing. Surprisingly, 30 and 54 on the season. Be interesting if they deal kind of, you know, they have some good young talent on that roster. They just can't really find their footing and put it all together. So interesting out there in the AL West for sure, but that's something where I'm going to stay away from this game altogether. No play for me. If anything, like I said, it's fade the Athletics all the way. All right, so let's hit the Pirates and the Braves. This will be an official game. They kind of clumped all my plays together on the card, but that's okay. It's Paul Skeens Day, so congratulations to all you guys in Atlanta. You get to watch that performance. 4-0 on the season, 2.14 ERA. Outstanding campaign. He gets to go down south a little bit, probably hook up with his, his old lady and have some fun down there for this weekend series against the Braves. I for one, just being full disclosure, I love PNC Park. For those of you that have not had a chance to go to it, make sure you guys put that on your list of things to do. It's one of my favorite ballparks, if not the favorite ballpark within Major League Baseball. So I'm rooting for the Pirates. I want to see them get back on the wagon. Kind of anti-Pittsburgh and everything I do. Don't really like the black and gold as a Browns fan, and a Northeast Ohio native. You can understand that. Hopefully appreciate that. Sorry for all you Yinzers out there, but nonetheless, I will be taking the under in this game. Let's ride it and pay a little bit of juice to get that 8, get that half-point insurance. I'm not scared of doing it either. I think it's going to be a very trendy play. But I looked into it a little bit more. The splits are there. The metrics are there. Max Fried's on the come up. Atlanta's lineup is struggling. And I think it's something where their first go-round, first time facing Paul Skeens, it's going to be something where you're going to have a little trouble catching up to that fastball. He's going to be down south. He's going to have a huge home crowd. I know it's going to be in a Braves game, but there's going to be a lot of people there that are, LSU supporters. They're going to be Paul Skeens. I mean, he's going to have fans on both sides is what I'm trying to say. So, that's something definitely to keep your eye on. I think that, the temperatures are a little different down south. It's going to be humid. It's going to be a little sticky. He's going to be able to get it up there, especially with the 4:10 first pitch. So look for Paul Skeens to really have some juice today and get it done, on the bump. But I'm going to be playing the under market. I think he goes at least 7. I could see this being one of the more dominant performances pitching of the day. But you watch, tomorrow we'll be making a video and he doesn't get out of the third and you guys are laughing at me, but neither here nor there. Taking the Pittsburgh under 8, that will be an official play. Probably one of my favorite plays of the day, despite it probably getting a little trendier in the market. Okay, San Diego and Boston, that's going to be the next one. Tanner Houck and Michael King. Padres are tough, man. They are tough to handicap. This game's in Fenway. I'm usually all over Tanner Houck. I'm staying away from it. I've noticed some regression in his pitching splits, so that's something where I look at. This is Boston or nothing for me, especially off a little bit of a zigzag where you saw yesterday. Boston got basically taken out back behind the woodshed. 9-2 loss at home. I don't know. I just think that there's something weird going on. Personally, this is a huge play for me. If I was going to bet Boston, I have no problem doing that. But I think the Padres glaringly plus 1.5, winning 4 out of their last 5. I think that's the better play in this situation. So Padres plus 1.5 minus 167. I'm not going to lay that much juice, but if I was going to bet that game, it would be Boston money line or taking the Padres plus 1.5. And I think Padres plus 1.5 would be the better bet out there in the market. All right. Next one out is the Guardians and the Royals. Coming into the series, this is a big AL Central matchup, right? Arguably, this is going to be the race between the Indians, and if we don't see some massive regression, it's going to be Kansas City and Minnesota for that 2 spot. So the way I look at it is it's plain and simple. Coming into the series, the Royals were struggling to score runs. They struggled in Game 1 that we saw on Thursday. And then yesterday, they pulled something out of their hat, and that's where we lost that handicap, okay? But the one thing that we did have coming into this was my pure indication that this was going to be an over series, okay? In full transparency, yesterday, the play I had kind of led me into taking the Indians on the run line was the fact that I liked the over in that ball game. And I said it's kind of correlative, where if the over was going to hit, it's probably because the Indians, were able to score runs in bunches, and they were going to win by 2. So it was kind of a little bit of a baby way of doing it, where I thought, instead of playing the over, and I didn't want to get a one-sided game where the Indians won 7-0. So I said, let's just play it on the run line. So it's a little bit of a different way. If they do correlate, sometimes you can parlay those together even, right? I do it a lot with Dodgers games. Something with a lot of potent offenses, you can really get get away with it, where you can take that -1.5 run line, or even go alt lines, -2.5 if you really have a conviction. Couple that with the over, and that really pays off sometimes, really pays dividends. But you got to pick your shots with that one. But within this game, we are going to be looking at the potential for Tanner Beebe to absolutely shove. I think that the Indians, I think you have to go back to the well, go back to the handicap. They're not going to drop 3 straight to the Royals. You got to play for some regression. Cole Reagan's outstanding lefty. I think the Indians are going to be able to get to him, though. 120 strikeouts for Reagan's, and Beebe 106. So going to be a really fascinating game to watch. How many Ks we have total. But I do look for these two pitchers to really go at each other. And this is why I'm going to stay away from it, though, because everything about this game screams. Take the over in every game for the Royals and Indians. Kind of a system play, if you will. But the way that these matchups have been shifting, I really have lost some of my conviction. So for me, it's going to be Indians or nothing for me on this bet, but I am going to stay away from it. All right. Next one out there we are going to have is the Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers. Justin Steele going against Tobias Harris. It's Brew Crew. I like the Brew Crew at home. I think they're going to take control of this series. Divisional game that we have, American Family Field. 4:10 first pitch. I think we back the Brewers here, -106. It's a coin flip game, but I do see some edge taking a little piece of Justin Steele, 0-3 on the season, 3.08 ERA. Look for the Brew Crew to get to him at home. They're going to be using the slide, getting it done. I think that's the bet. I think that's the bet in this situation, and also a little bit of a kind of cherry on top is who can trust a Cubs bullpen, especially like game 3 into a weekend series. Why not? So for me, it's Brew Crew or nothing. I'm not going to bet this one, though. Just was giving you a very strong lean along the way. All right, Astros and Mets. This one, quite frankly, you can't really predict this one. Framber Valdez going against Tyler McGill. You saw yesterday, Houston got out to a 1 or 2 run lead early in the game, and the Mets scored, ended finishing, I think they won by almost double digits. So shout out to the Mets. They really have come on lately. They're now above 500. And this is probably I say this in all my videos, it seems like, but the most disappointing story, I think, in all of baseball. And, some people probably feel different because of the cheating scandals, so on and so forth, stealing signs. But I don't root for anybody to have failure in life. And I root for people. Big fan of a lot of the players in that Astros organization. It is something where these guys are competing at the highest level. So outside of steroid use, and even to that, it's something where, hey, we got to kind of go back to earth and call everything at face value, because I think that the Astros right now have some futures potential if they can just figure it out. Young pitching rotation, but I still do favor their lineup in a lot of spots. So rooting for them to do well. Always, I root for everybody to do well. Quite frankly, that's just kind of, I'm more of a positive person when it comes to that stuff. But for me, it's going to be Astros back on the zigzag, and we will go back to the Astros -107 here in the market. But there always is that potential for Framber to get absolutely rocked. 6-5 record. He doesn't have that for nothing, right? All right. Next game out there is Washington, Tampa Bay. A lot of people were on Washington yesterday, and quite frankly, this is kind of a tough matchup to play. Some of these interleague matchups, you get different lineups, different looks. It's hard to handicap because there's not a lot of data to go off of, right? There's not a lot of recency bias, and also you can look at the Nationals. They're up there in the top tier of the most profitable teams betting on baseball. And I think this is a game where you can go back to the Nats. So if you guys lost out yesterday, +124 on the Nationals, backing Jake Irvin, why not? Look for their roster to do well against Aaron Savali. He's kind of a fade when it comes to Tampa Bay, and kind of I fade Tampa Bay at home too. For some odd reason, it's just really no home field advantage in my opinion. So it'll be Nationals or nothing. Okay, then we're going to go out to Baltimore, back to it. Yesterday we were all over the Baltimore Orioles. Unfortunately, I didn't give that one out as a pick, but that was something where later on in the evening ended up getting behind the Orioles pretty strongly. Michael Lorenzen and Cade Povich. We're going to stay away from this one, though. I don't trust the Rangers lineup, and that works both ways. They can win this game 9-2 or lose this game 2-9. So I'm going to stay away from this game. I do see that the Orioles have a potential to sweep. Just being honest, I do feel the need to bring out the brooms, starting to get that itch. We'll see what happens today. And I think, quite frankly, a lot of people play the statistics within sweeps. So if the Orioles do steal this game, there's going to be a lot of people come Sunday that are going to be taking the Rangers money just because statistically the chances and likelihood of sweeps are null. But I think Baltimore coming off of a 2-game out of 3 loss to the Indians during the interweek. I think this is something where I think the Orioles could get those brooms out. So let's keep an eye on this game, and if they do drop this one, it's going to be Orioles all day tomorrow. And if they do, it's pretty much going to be an Orioles Sunday. Let's just put it that way. So, but no play for me in this market for today. All right, Dodgers, San Francisco. Let's get into that one. I do want to pull up some of these other games. Dodgers, San Francisco. That was unfortunate. I gave out on Discord last night. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you guys all hop on over to the Discord. I gave that one out. That was kind of a late night play for me. Full disclosure, I just couldn't turn down Dodgers money at plus money. It was the right handicap. I truly believe that. They just had a little shitting the bed incident within their bullpen late, gave up that walk-off home run. I thought we were going extras. I thought that the Dodgers had a chance during regular innings, and unfortunately not able to get it done. But we can look back at this game. Tyler Glasnow, Eric Miller. What's there not to love about the Dodgers? It is something where the over 7.5 is actually a little bit juicy too, but I'm going to stay away from this one. No real true feeling. I don't like to bet Dodgers games when Glasnow pitches. I still haven't seen him in his current form where he needs to be. Okay, so I'm staying away. But let's get into that next game. We're going to go over a couple before we get into the ones that we actually have plays on. I actually skipped over them, but we will look at the Tigers-Angels. This is a coin flip game. Like I said yesterday, I like the over. I still like the over. Right now, it's who can trust these teams to hit the baseball. So for me, this was an over series. We almost got it yesterday. Would have made us profitable, but it did not happen. So it's over or nothing in that game. Twins, Mariners. This is a great matchup. Seattle was the play yesterday. Now we have Bryce Miller going against Pablo Lopez. In Seattle, I do favor Seattle, but it's not enough where I'm going to feel very strongly of taking it. But I do see some value taking them plus 1.5, minus 164, if you guys want to put that into your mix. Okay, let's go back to the games that we do have plays in. Okay, so we're going to give you guys my last 2 plays, and that is within the New York Yankees and Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, this is one where Nasty Nestor, I think he is back in form. Had a great outing last time out. In the month of June, though, some of his, in the month of June, May, whatever you want to call it, just his road splits have been kind of unsettling if you are going to back the Yankees in this spot. But 4-6 on the season, 3.4 ERA. I think his numbers are coming back down. I think he's starting to find some form. The Blue Jays do handle lefties pretty well, and that's the only thing that worries me about this handicap. But I can't put down the thought of baseball when you score how the Yankees kind of bust out of their slump last night. It's really hard. I don't want to say it's really hard to repeat that, but just seeing that kind of gives me indication that we are on the right track, and I do think that their offense got their legs behind them again. So whether or not Nestor's pitches well, I still like the Yankees in this spot, so I'm going to be taking the Yankees. I can't turn down minus 112. If this was back in their run when they were tearing the cover off the baseball and they were pitching good and they were playing on both ends, good on both ends, this game would have been right now in this spot would have been upwards of minus 145, even $1.50. So I'm going to put it back on the Yankees. I've been riding them a lot. We'll see. Maybe if they lose, we can get off that. But I kind of play systems. I play streaks. I play runs. It's kind of like that old mantra. With system betting. If you take the Indians are a prime example, right? Everybody's rooting for the Indians. Like, when is this going to end? Why are they winning? Nobody knows why they're winning. Well, it's very simple for me. If you've been betting the Indians every game for the month of May and June, you've been very profitable. Okay, you've been very profitable. So it's one of my rules in baseball. You never bet against a streak to end. So if you just kind of take the guesswork out of it and just bet them every day, you're going to be in a lot of cases where the market hasn't caught up to the team. You're going to be basically cashing and being very profitable until you're not. And that's why a lot of people ask me, why do you always have why do you always have Cleveland on your bet slip? Well, you got to look at every single game. They've basically profited. If you would have bet Cleveland every single game this season, you would have been you will be profitable. Net win loss. Okay. And that's kind of where I'm at within the Yankees. I play them a lot, but there's a reason for that. So if we get them in these spots where you're getting them out of value, I think that's the play. Also, this is my play. You guys don't have to follow my plays. You can fade me, but I am going to tell you that I also, this is more of my system play with the Yankees. But for you guys, if you want to look into even Toronto plus 1.5 on the run line, I'm not opposed to that either. But I do think the Yankees is where the value is. That's what I'm betting. So that's what I'm locking in, minus 112 on the money line. And then the last pick that I'm going to give you guys with the Marlins-Philly game, Aaron Nola at home. I know, the Schwarber stuff, the Harper stuff, that's fine, whatever. We saw it yesterday. You can tell people were asking, do you still like the Phillies? Yeah, okay. It's kind of like football. How you want to factor in handicaps, and you always hear, how much is this player worth to the line, right? How many points to the spread is this player worth to the line? Some of the players that you really truly value may only be a half point to the number. Okay, so don't get caught up with the names on the jerseys, the big name players, because a lot of times, it is impactful, but sometimes it's not enough, and it's actually a reason that's going to basically kind of give you a value play. It's going to put your bets on clearance almost. You're going to get that sale price on a lot of money lines just from injury news, right? And yesterday was a prime example. I know it was only 2-0, and a lot of you guys probably were sweating out that 1.5, but it is what it is, and I think that's something where it's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the Phillies at home on the run line, minus 1.5, and that's been a very profitable bet for me this season, and we're going to get behind Aaron Nola, and hopefully Rodri Muñoz just blows up. And that's kind of the handicap. You don't need to overthink things sometimes. The Marlins are 29-53 on the season, and would not surprise me no matter who Phillies put out there in the lineup. They have a great farm system. It really doesn't matter. That's just how I view it. I do think Harper, MVP caliber kind of player, but how much is he really important to the line, to the money line, to value? Who knows? I'm not here to make those odds, but I will tell you that I am taking the Phillies. Regardless of who's in the lineup today, and that's just kind of how I'm going to do it. So that's my rundown. That's my breakdown. I know we kind of went on and on today, but, cheers. I've had that weekend coffee. Hope you all are doing well. Enjoy this weekend. Hopefully we get some good weather, get all these games in, and then we'll be back tomorrow with tomorrow's baseball video. Waiting for more sports. It's almost that time of year. I told you, if you guys want to sign up on the Discord, make sure you do that, because I am going to be doing stuff very shortly for NFL, college football previews. Get my primers out there. Those will be exclusively available to my channel members for the first month. So if you guys want to become a channel member, links down below in the description. Hop on over to that link and sign up today. But I appreciate you guys watching. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck with your picks. And we'll see you guys all in the next video. Here is my quick recap. Make sure you guys subscribe on your way out, where we could see Yankees minus 112. Under in the St. Louis game, I put a question mark on these unders because the numbers are moving. So regardless of when you guys are watching this video, make sure you guys all find the best number available. Phillies run line under Pittsburgh, under St. Louis, and Yankees on the money line. Just a quick recap. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.